In her informational / resources editorial this week, Quality Digest editor Laurel Tennis points out that natural disasters such as Hurricane Harvey and now, within a day here, Hurricane Irma in Florida can be really a wake-up call for all of us that, no matter how much help or relief we get after the fact, we are better served if we are better informed ahead of disasters.
Right.
Kind of the information is power idea, right?
Right on.
And Laurel is somebody who is very much into sustainability, environmental, environmental awareness, and that type of thing. So in this article, she's talking about that citizens have to take responsibility for their own health, safety, and community development. You don't just rely on others to take care of you. I mean, obviously, after disaster, we're going to do that, but a lot of it is upfront preparation for yourself, and a lot of that's knowledge, right?
Yep.
And that means you got to know what's going on in the fields that affect you, so that you can be better informed, and really, so that maybe you become a source of information for other people.
For
as
your
well.
neighbors, everyone.
Yeah, for your neighbors. I mean, so if everybody is better informed on kind of what maybe what the community should be doing to be more resilient or more environmentally friendly or more sustainable, if everybody is aware of that, well then kind of as a group that puts pressure on lawmakers and so forth, right, and informed citizenry. Okay, and right now there is a lot going on in the scientific and standards world that involves living more sustainably and safely. Safely being a key word, particularly within the last few weeks,
right.
Within our environment. Just this morning, we heard about, we just talked about the two hurricanes. Just this morning, we heard about 8.6 scale earthquake off the coast of Mexico. That's huge. If that was to happen, I mean, it's bad enough it happened down there, but the brunt of that earthquake was in a fairly relatively low populated area, I believe.
Yeah.
It reached into Mexico City, but Mexico City quite a ways away. If an 8.6 earthquake hit out, outside of San Francisco, which will come up eventually. That's bad news.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So Laurel points out a few of these resources that we can take a look at to get more information on making our environment more sustainable and resilient. One, I thought this was really interesting. One is a course from the U.S. Green Building Council, the U.S. GBC, called Urban Resilience in the Era of Climate Change. And this is a video series that you can purchase from the U.S. GBC. The goal, says the U.S. GBC, is to promote a holistic understanding of resilience that is grounded in equity, fairness for everybody, and sustainability. And by resilience, they mean that the program that you have the means, a capacity for a community to anticipate and plan for and mitigate the risks and seize the opportunities associated with environmental and social change. It's about transforming the systems that supply cities with energy and transportation, food, water, and housing. I mean, all of those, think infrastructure, right? Big topic coming up now, infrastructure. Laurel has also links to various leadership in energy environmental design. That's the LEED, L-E-D programs a lot of you have probably heard of. LEED is a third-party verification program that verifies that buildings are resource efficient, that they use less water and energy and reduce greenhouse gas. That's kind of the goal of LEED, and it kind of has grown over time. LEED and similar programs, Architecture 2030, I believe, is another one, which is quite a bit more strict than LEED. Are changing the way we think about how buildings and communities are planned, constructed, and how they're maintained and operated. There's more resources in that, but the overall idea is that there is a lot going on out there in terms of looking at our infrastructure differently. Right now we're hearing, the idea of some big infrastructure bills that are being battered around. No action on them yet, but infrastructure is being talked about quite a bit. And obviously there's going to be a lot of rebuilding going on in Texas and after Harvey, and possibly in Florida. Yeah. And shouldn't we be thinking of building and rebuilding differently when we think about those things? Are we going to just keep reinforcing our infrastructure in the same way that we've done in the past? Maybe we should be as part of a concerted effort, governmentally, be looking at more resource-efficient, environmentally resilient infrastructures. And we're going to talk about this actually a little bit later on. But I mean, it's a good point. I mean, now is kind of we're seeing a lot of things happen one on top of the other, which could be just coincidence. I mean, but environment. We certainly know environment plays an impact on hurricanes for sure, warmer seawater. So since this is a reality, should be looking at more resilient and sustainable infrastructure. So,
well, it's interesting that the USGBC, that's the organization, kind of politicized it by specifically mentioning climate change, which I thought was interesting. But it's unfortunately the world we're in now, everything's politicized. But I mean, yes, I think you're right in your statement that the waters are warming and that's causing more hurricanes and
worse hurricanes.
And that is a reason why we need to think about these things. But there are those that say that climate change is a myth and this isn't happening. But it almost doesn't matter.
It almost doesn't matter.
You want to be prepared.
You want to be prepared.
Ultimately,
like who cares about the reason? I just want my building to stay
right.
up.
Exactly. There's going to be hurricanes. There's going to be earthquakes.
Right.
Whether there are environmental things, whether there's a human-caused response to that's causing it to be worse. It almost doesn't matter.
Yeah, you still got to prepare.
You still got to prepare. But it was interesting that they mentioned climate change in that. That they did kind of specifically politicize that a little bit.
Interesting.